Growing up in Cuba, I had access to doctors at any given time. Doctors, for all intents and purposes, are free in Cuba. However, medicine is a different story. Medicines are really hard to find. And the one thing that I can tell you is in my house, my grandparents had, and I was raised by my grandparents, by the way, but they had shells outside in the backyard full of little pots, like yay big, pots yay big. And every morning, my grandma will go and put water over it. It will water those plants. And in the afternoon, my grandfather will move them to a more shady area under the avocado tree, to be more specific. And in the afternoon, he would put them back and he would water them. And I was always like, Mima, why you always have all those plants in there? Why so many? And the thing is that the way that they will raise, doctors were not available as we did in our generation back in Cuba. They will raise pre-Castro, if you will. And they live in a very remote area in the mountains where if you don't take care of yourself, bad things will happen to you. So they learn all of this herbal medicine. So I grew up with all of that. And my grandma telling me all the time, doctors don't care about you. All they care is about giving you a pill, and that is it. Even my grandfather was always like, all they care is to keep having you taking pills like you are popping corn kernels like a chicken. They don't care about you getting better. They just care about you getting good enough so you can go back to work. But this right here will keep you healthy. It is natural. And I grew up with that mindset. Natural medicine will keep you healthy. So one of you asked me to do a video on health, medicine, and first aid in books of learning and keeping the next generation educated. I'm going to come out and say that keeping the next generation educated, it is a really hard challenge. And I'm finding that out more and more every single day. And no offense to those of you who are here, who are younger. You're here and learning, or at least listening to this old fart right now. And you're doing your part. But the majority of people don't care. The majority of people, all they care is about TikTok, about, I don't know, something completely idiotic. But if you're here, you're one of the smart ones. So, mostly, the ones who care about health, medicinal stuff, first aid and whatnot, are older folks. Because they see the benefit. They see that they spend and I would say older folks, especially here in America, around my age, mid-40s, they grow up, taking pills. And unfortunately, a lot of them have forgot about herbal medicine. So here's my advice to everybody, without, sounding condescending or anything like that. Try to educate yourself a bit on the herbal medicine. And it may sound hippie and whatnot, and think whatever you want. My grandparents still alive on both sides, so they're old as hell, still healthy as hell, and that's what they do, herbal medicine. So I have 2 books right here, and you do your own research and you find your own books. I'm not going to recommend any books. I just brought them out, just as an example. But when you start introducing chemicals into your body, things change. when you are in harmony with your environment and you introduce those natural remedies into your body will heal. The other way around, your body will go haywire. That's just the way it goes. So when it comes to health, try to stay as natural as possible. That is my recommendation to everybody. As natural as possible. You know, I heard this person one time saying, I suffer from severe headaches. And I said to this person, have you ever tried coffee? No, I hate coffee. I said, okay. Fair enough. I grew up with the mindset that if you had a headache, you have a small cup of coffee. You know that what they call the Cuban coffee? You know, with the little percolator and whatnot? And no sugar. Honey. That's what I grew up. I was taught that way. So, and that person specifically was one time in my place complaining about a massive migraine, and if I have Tylenol to give them. I say, well, I don't have Tylenol. I don't keep Tylenol. And man, was that person in pain. You can tell. And I said, could you try? Let me make you a remedy that I learned from my grandparents, and it has worked wonders for me. At that point, that person was in pain, and it said to me, okay, whatever you want. I made an espresso. No sugar, honey. Little cup. Give that little cup. Oh, I don't drink coffee. I said, just drink it. It's just, if you had never had an espresso, a Cuban espresso, it's you serve it in little cups. There's not a big cup or anything, a 16 ounce. No, it's a little tiny cup. Drink it. Oh, it's not bad. It's strong, but it's not bad. 10 minutes later, we were just having a conversation, and I said, how is your migraine? Your headache? Oh, I didn't even notice. It's gone. You see? Natural. Coffee, grind at your house, grown by local people, honey, natural. Bam, that's an example. I tell you all, we need to simplify things, and health starts at home. Medicine is provided by Mother Nature. I might sound like a hippie right now. Again, just take it for what it's worth. That's the way that I grew up. First aid is something that you can definitely take courses online. I'm not here to teach you how to do CPR, how to stop a bleeding, how to apply a tourniquet. You know, the funny thing is that I see more and more videos about tourniquets and this and that, but, you know, let's apply something that you may never have a chance to do. You may never have to treat a bullet wound or somebody who body part got severed and you have to apply a tourniquet. But let's completely forget how to treat a minor headache that it can make your life a living hell, or you can have a miserable time, simply because we want to focus on those unlikely events. You see what I'm saying? And then we ignore those more likely events. So look into herbal medicine. Look at what is available in your area. Mother Nature will provide. One of the things that I did the moment that I moved to Alaska is that I got a crap load of books on edibles and whatnot, and every day, and I still do from time to time, just to keep things in perspective. So health, keep it natural. Avoid taking those pharmaceutical made medicines. listen, if you just want to see whether or not they're good for you, look at the side effects. Now, one thing that I want to also say, especially for the new generations that really lack on this department, learn how to cook. Learn how to cook. Learn how to grow your own food. It don't matter how little you grow. You're going to start somewhere. You know, I always make fun of the whole one tomato plant. But if you learn from there, and that is your starting point, start from there. And then cabbages, and then potatoes, and then this and that. The point here is avoid stores. Avoid those grocery stores or those products produced by massive companies. The amount of chemicals that they put in goes into your body. That is destroying you. Avoid all of that. Avoid processed food. If you want to make your own bread, there's nothing more satisfying than making your own bread. It is the easiest thing to do. All you need is flour, water, sugar, some salt. I don't use sugar, by the way. I use honey, a little bit of salt, and some yeast, and that's it. If you want to make sourdough, you don't even need the yeast. That instant yeast. So you see what I'm saying? You don't have to go buy that already cut bread that it has so many ingredients in it that you don't even know what the hell you're eating. When you eat a real piece of bread, it's so different, it's so dense. It will keep you full. So that's the other part. Your food. Whatever you put in your body is going to determine how healthy you are. If you eat natural, your body will remain healthier. If you eat processed food, your body will break apart like a machine with the wrong oil. That's the best way I can put it to you. So get some books on canning and try to preserve your food. If you had never hunted in your life, try to get with somebody who has and offer your labor as payment. Hey, if you teach me how to hunt deer, I will do everything that you ask me to in the field. You know, gut the deer, carry the deer, quarter the deer, do everything as payment for you to teach me. Is it going to be easy? No, but it will give you the health that you desperately need. Listen, guys, this is important. This is the reason why so many people are sick nowadays. Everything that is being put in your body, well, it's just poisoning you. So, health, medicinal, and first aid. First aid is something that you can learn online, easy. That's not, I don't harp too much on that one. Health, whatever you put in your body, your food, medicinal, try to be natural. Teaching the next generation is not going to be easy because unfortunately a lot of them have been indoctrinated and thinking that a person with a white coat knows better than anybody else, and I guarantee you they don't have all the answers. They just don't. And a lot of the times natural medicines are way better than the chemical ones. That is just my experience in life. So in order to teach the next generation have to be willing to hear out those of us who have lived this way. And if you compare them both, our generation and their generation, I will say that those of us who have lived a simpler, more healthy life, more natural life, we are a lot stronger and healthy than the next generation is coming in with obesity, diabetes, high cholesterol, all of that craziness that we never heard before. So that is it. That is it for this video request about health, medical, and first aid. A couple of books in here. You can definitely pause and zoom in and see which ones they are. You don't have to get it. I don't have it in Amazon or anything. But I do recommend you to get books. Learn how to do the things and pivot more into natural medicines. Just like my grandparents had their pots laying down and they moved it every single day and water every single day. That was a lifeline for them. That can be a lifeline for you. With that being said, I hope you have a great one. Like I was, rock on, rip on, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody. Power outages, camping, work on the go. Opus keeps you connected at home and outdoors. With clean, reliable energy, Opus powers freedom. Opus, the choice of the frontier preppers. If you'd like to support the channel, check out the links in the pinned comment below. Consider joining our Frontier Prepper Squad or let an ad to you run. It really does make a difference. And always remember, those who prepare today will not struggle tomorrow.